Here we're talking with the Executive Director of the Transitions Family Violence Services organization, and Ms. Jasmine Andrews, the author of Sullied Bride. She's a major advocate for the rights and the wealth of the woman, or the warrior bride, as she calls us. So we thank her for her strength. We thank you for being here. And I would like to ask you if you have, there are some events that you guys have coming up. I would like you to talk about those events for me, please.
Right, we're having an event, Newport News, beside City Hall at 3 o'clock. It's across from the courthouse, and it's going to be about courtroom bullying, and that's going to be on Tuesday, October 11th. And it's going to talk about how, like, people assume that the woman has the advantage in the court room situation, which is actually not true, because the lawyers written several articles about this and said that actually men win 70% of custody battles, and in an abuse situation the man knows that taking the children away from the woman is a good way to abuse her, get back at her. Also, in terms of alimony and spousal support, financial independence is extremely important for a woman to get out of an abusive situation. And so the fact that women who are typically do not make as much money, that financial abuse is a huge factor in domestic violence, and in the courtroom, women are not necessarily getting what they need from the judges, because there are a lot of judges who do not understand domestic violence. So you have situations where a judge will look at the woman and say, well, why did you leave? That's right. And either say that she abandoned the marriage, and if she stays, then say that, well, since you stayed, I mean, that's not typical behavior of somebody who's subject to abuse. Right. And so then just say that, well, I don't believe this accusation of abuse ever occurred, because they don't actually understand the mentality of a woman who is in this type of situation. Right. So that's October 11th, right? Tuesday, October 11th at 3 o'clock. Okay. Newport News, outside City Hall, across from the courthouse. Okay, good. Thank you so much. That's not the only, you had something else coming up too, right?
Yeah, we also have the Casino Night for Champions. That's on October 15th at the Marriott at City Center in Newport News. If you're able to come and celebrate and be a champion with us to end domestic violence, we'd love to have you. Our tickets are on Eventbrite. So please feel free to get involved. But if you're not able to make any of the events, what we do encourage you to do is this month, educate yourself about domestic violence. It's not something that just happens to men, women, people that are married. It happens to all of us. Like Kimberly had mentioned earlier on in the broadcast, that you could be brothers and sisters, mothers and sons, mothers and fathers. So please look at the different dynamics of what domestic violence entails, so that you can be a resource for someone. And just the fact that you've tuned in and you have our information, even if they're not in Virginia or North Carolina, we have resources all across the United States. If you give us a state and a city, we will find someone that can help you escape that relationship safely.
Thank you so much for the information. I hope you guys have gotten your hearts full of information this morning. We definitely wanted to allow God to be glorified, so that He can pull you to a place of freedom, because there is some joy on the other side. There is some good sisterhood on the other side. Some good stuff on the other side, I promise you. So you've been listening to Humble Praise. It's, of course, your girl, Miss Kimber. And I've had Sanu and Jasmine here from the Transitions Family Violence Services organization. So we're going to be listening to Good by Mr. Smokey Norfolk. And then I got to go. So I'll see you guys next Saturday at the same place, same time. Be blessed.